private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the Community Charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just going to ask you to sign your name there, please. You just sign that. Congratulations.
Moving to section 4 of the agenda, I'll now give my inaugural address. Let everybody sit down and be comfortable. Central Saanich is truly an exceptional place to live and work. As such, it is no surprise that we often hear people proudly state that their families have lived here for many generations. With that thought in mind, I would like to begin my address by acknowledging that we are meeting here this evening in the traditional territory of the Saanich First Nations. Thank you for sharing your traditional territory with us. While I cannot claim to be a multi-generational Central Saanichtonian, perhaps one of the greatest compliments that a person can give to a community is to be willing to leave your homeland and decide that this new place is where you would like to settle down and raise your family. In 1989, I was scouting out the island for a location to establish a new veterinary hospital. At the time, I practiced on large and small animals, and having been attracted to this area by the abundance of quality farmland, I came to this municipal hall to find out more about Central Saanich. My reason for telling you this is not to detail my life story, but simply instead to highlight why I decided to stay here. Yes, it was and still is a beautiful place to live, but it was the fact that I was able to identify that an opportunity existed for me here that persuaded me to invest in the community and put down roots. It is incumbent upon us all to ensure that Central Saanich continues to be a place where people can identify opportunities. Central Saanich deserves a great deal of credit for protecting farmland from development pressure. In fact, in the last few years, there has been more land included in the agricultural land reserve than has been removed. Yet even in the face of an increasing demand from the public for local food products, our agricultural sector is under significant economic pressure. Production costs are increasing and gross margins on most agricultural production are reduced or non-existent. As such, we are seeing the average age of farmers increasing and actual levels of production declining. Farmers are passionate about their role in feeding the community, but it is unrealistic to expect them to continue to subsidize the food they are producing. Instead, it will take awareness of the economic factors that farmers are facing and a willingness on the part of the whole community to ensure that opportunities exist for agriculture to realize its potential. In 2011, the district completed its first agricultural area plan, which identifies some steps that the district can take to support agriculture. We have strong policies in our official community plan regarding the protection of farmland. But I believe the best way to protect farmland from development pressure is through ensuring that farmers are able to identify opportunities to make a living by farming the land using sustainable farm practices. When the community, and by the community I mean the whole capital region, sees the land producing and benefits from eating the local produce, then and only then will the land be truly protected as farmland. As mayor, I intend to raise the awareness of the challenges facing farmers in Central Saanich at both the regional and provincial levels of government. To this end, I'm encouraged by the positive response we have received from the BC Ministry of Agriculture to our request for a meeting to discuss current agricultural concerns. Representatives from the district will be meeting with the Honourable Don McCrae, Minister of Agriculture, this Wednesday. Looking back over the last couple of years, the district has achieved some significant accomplishments. We have completed several major infrastructure projects, including the East Saanich Road reconstruction and renewal project and the Mount Newton-Saanich water line. A new tennis court facility has also been constructed and detailed design work has been completed for the proposed new main fire hall building. With the recent adoption of the district's award-winning Integrated Stormwater Management Plan, ISMP, priorities for improvements have been identified and some of the recommendations have already been successfully implemented. These include hydraulic improvements to McHugh-Noble Creek in the vicinity of Dooley Road in the Martindale Valley, and the adoption of a new surface water runoff bylaw. We have also begun the process of establishing a community healthy watershed committee to help guide future ISMP implementation. Council has also recently adopted amendments to the Central Saanich soil removal and deposit bylaw, which will enable the district to be more involved in regulating and monitoring the deposition of fill on farmland. Looking forward to 2012 and beyond, the district has already identified some significant priorities. Over the next few months, we will undertake a residential densification study and public input process with the intention of creating a set of guidelines or criteria for densification to provide consistency in future development and to give direction to proponents as to what might be considered appropriate development. The district is aware that the Sartlip and Sayout First Nations are interested in pursuing economic development opportunities on their land within Central Saanich, and our council is committed to completing new and updated servicing agreements with both local First Nations. It is anticipated that the proposal for construction of a new main fire hall and the associated bylaws will be coming back to council for final consideration in the near future. And if adopted by council, construction of this major infrastructure project will commence shortly thereafter. The district is planning to complete a water master plan in 2012. The district will continue to lobby the Ministry of Transportation on the Keating interchange concept. In this regard, it is encouraging that the Ministry has initiated a new round of consultation with the district regarding the portion of Highway 17 between Mount Newton Crossroad and Tanner intersections. During the recent election, we heard concerns about the district's finances. Over the next few months, much of Council's attention will be focused on preparing the 2012 annual budget and 5-year financial plan. Our Council is committed to prudent and steady management of the district's finances and debt. In addition to these and other priorities which have already been identified elsewhere, I encourage all members of Council to bring forward ideas such as a process to revitalise the Keating industrial area for Council's consideration during our upcoming strategic planning session this February. Before I close my address, I would like to take a moment to thank each and every one of the district staff for their collective contributions to the smooth operation and well-being of the district. Over the last 6 years as a member of Council, I've come to rely on the assistance and advice of the management team, and I have been consistently impressed with the professionalism and competence that they bring to their respective roles. In particular, I would like to give special acknowledgement to the people who keep our community safe. We are fortunate to have a dedicated group of highly trained volunteer and career fire department personnel. We also appreciate the high standard of community-focused policing that our Central Saanich Police Department provides. And our public works employees frequently go above and beyond to ensure that our public infrastructure continues to function safely. Thank you to all the district staff. It should also be noted that many individuals in our community volunteer their time to sit on various district advisory committees and boards. At the risk of leaving someone out, I won't attempt to list all of these. You know who you are, and you should also be aware how much we appreciate all the contributions you make to our community. Thank you to you all. In closing, I would like to thank the outgoing members of council for their significant individual contributions, and to welcome the 3 new members of council to the table. I have met individually with each councillor, and I've been impressed by the thoughtful input that I've received. I'm confident that we will quickly establish quality working relationships, which will enable us to be effective in our leadership roles at the council table. Finally, I would like to wish everyone a happy and restful holiday season, and to borrow a line from our administrator, Mr. Nason, preferably without too much snow. Thank you.